Yes, people, today we're going to be talking about the Muhammad Mokaev situation. Just some background, we know that during the build-up of UFC 304, we saw Mokaev versus Cape move from the main card to the prelims, to the early prelims, and then back to the opening of the prelims. We saw the story about Mokaev asking Cape for a picture and then sucker punching Cape after he got the picture, allegedly. Then they fought, and after their fight, which Mokaev won, he was let go by the UFC. So we don't know exactly why Mokaev was let go by the company, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Why we think he was let go. So I'm going to ask you, why do you think Muhammad Mokaev was sacked by the UFC?
Well, obviously, we've been hearing that it's because of the fight with, like, his fight with Mano
Cape.
I mean, not the actual fight, but the fight in the hotel room or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like, bruv, this happens all the time.
Yeah.
So why specifically pick him, like, and just say, yo, this is a problem, we're going to let you go? You know what I mean? This happens all the time. Like, Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards. I'm not Nate Diaz, Masvidal, sorry, when he punched Leon Edwards, nothing happened. Like, he could have got arrested for that because it's on video as well. Or like McGregor throwing the. Obviously, I understand these lot are high, like these lot are like the big guys in the UFC that Dana White's gonna protect no matter what. I understand that, but I don't think it's because of that, and I don't think Dana will try ever use that as an excuse because he's let so many things slide in the past.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not. I thought it's purely because they're flyweights. Like, we know how Dana's always felt about flyweights.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he's a wrestler. I think a meme. I'm not a meme. Sorry, a tweet. There was like someone tweeted. It was like another UFC fight. I can't remember who.
Exactly what I'm gonna read out here.
Yeah, go on, read
It was a tweet from Nate Maness, who is also a flyweight, and he basically told everyone the reason that he was sacked. We don't know if it's the same reason Mokaev was also sacked, but what Maness said was that the UFC found him as a fighter not very exciting.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
And we're talking about Nate Maness. Nate Maness is in the flyweight division, has 7 fights, and he's got 3 finishes.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what it is. I feel like Dana White's just got this problem with flyweights. He's got this thing where Dana White, all he wants is knockouts and stand-up fighting. Like, so why didn't he start a bloody Muay Thai organization or a kickboxing organization? You know what I mean? Like you know how he's got Power Slap? Bro, instead of doing Power Slap, why didn't he do like a kickboxing thing? You know what I mean? Or Muay Thai, sorry.
Yeah.
But this is MMA. You're going to have the grapplers versus the strikers. This is what MMA was built off.
Really?
Like, just because they're grapplers, why is it that, they're boring, they don't sell, they don't... But I feel like a lot of people do want to watch Mokaev. Yeah. He's undefeated, young prospect.
Future of that division.
Yeah, for sure. Like, if there was someone I had to bet on being champion eventually in their career, it will be him. Mokaev. He's only 23 or 24.
Yeah, he's 23.
Yeah, and he's undefeated.
Just turned 24.
Yeah, exactly. He's very good. I think he's got a lot to work on. I mean, he's not like the best right now, but he's good for his age. He's got so much potential, and Dana White just wants to get rid of him. I don't think it's what he said is for like the fight in the hotel. I think it's because they're flyweights and they're wrestlers. That's like the worst thing you can have for Dana. Yeah, there's nothing worse than that. Like, so go on.
Let me ask you another question then. So obviously we're saying it's Dana White's fault and whatnot. You know, he has this thing against flyweights. Is it actually the fault of the fans? Because Dana White, he's always talked about being a fan.
Yeah.
He was always a fan of combat sports growing up, and he wants the biggest fights, not just for the fans, because because he wants to see the biggest fights as well. Has he seen the reaction to, has he seen the fans' reactions to the bouts of, the flyweights and the bantamweights, the smaller guys? And he is now also having to follow through with that mentality and response that the fans have. Yeah. Because ultimately, he wants to do what's in the company's best business and make money. And if these guys aren't making money, then he's going to let them go.
Yeah. I feel like we're like real fans, I feel like they love the smaller guys because they see pure technique.
Yeah.
Like real MMA fans, they love seeing the smaller guys. It's the casuals that wanted to see the heavyweights. or like the big guys, knockouts. Yeah.
Knockout.
So Dana White, therefore, is a casual.
Yeah.
He's a casual MMA fan. Like, but it's just there's this problem. Like, if you look around the world, I feel like most countries, like, they appreciate the smaller guys.
Yeah.
Especially with the technique that they come with. Like, you don't see the level of grappling, jiu-jitsu and stuff like that in the bigger weight classes than you do in flyweight, bantamweight, then weight. Like, a lot of people would arguably say that the best weight class is bantamweight. Do you know what I mean? Like, the most
right now.
Yeah. Right now, like the most stacked
Yeah, I think
and the most competitive.
between bantamweight and welterweight, probably.
Yeah,
at the minute.
but they'll say it's like I've heard a lot of people say it is bantamweight. Do you know what I mean? Obviously not for me personally, it's the flyweight division. I love the flyweight division. I think they're so skilled and they're just so good at everything. The technique is incredible. But the American fans, I think specifically, British fans, not really. Like, you don't really see the British fans with the same attitude towards like not getting a knockout. Like, the American fans are so blooded, like hungry for blood. Man. That's what they want. They just want blood. They just want gore. They just want knockouts, and they just want like people to come close to death, man. You know what I mean?
Do you know what it is? I think because depending on the weight class, that weight class builds anticipation for potential knockout during a fight. Whether that's heavyweight, there's the most anticipation. You know, a knockout could come any second. That's why they don't boo during a heavyweight fight. With the flyweights and bantamweights, there's a less expectation of a knockout, and I think that's why the fans boo. I mean, we've seen as soon as the grappling exchange starts in a fight, all you're hearing is boo.
Yeah, exactly.
These Americans.
Like,
as soon as the grappling exchange happens.
When someone's pushed up against a cage, all you hear is this boo. Like, I'm thinking, what are you lot booing
Yeah,
for?
and that's more likely to happen in flyweight and bantamweight, the lower weight divisions, right? Because naturally, you're not gonna get smaller guys with that kind of knockout power.
And they're so focused on technique that you'll see these mad exchanges. They'll throw a punch and go for a double leg and then switch it to like a body lock and then go into a clinch or something mad crazy like that. And then there's crazy scrambles. So you see a lot of grappling mixed in with their striking. And obviously because of their size, they don't have that power to be knocking people out always. But I feel like a lot of true MMA fans appreciate the smaller weight classes. It's just, I don't know why Dana White's got this obsession with knockouts and like for me, a lot of the fight of the nights that he gives, I'm thinking, why did he even give that fight of the night? Like, oh man, he just loves stoppages. Like, obviously because it sells, and Americans are the biggest. They're the ones that maybe put the most money.
They're the monopoly of the market.
They're the ones. Americans, I mean, they pay like $80 a card. You know what I mean? so they're putting all the money in. We're just appreciating it. You know what I mean? So obviously, understandably, the flyweights sell a lot less. And guys like Mokaev are just like building this culture of like grappling, like, because he's showing their works. So he's maybe like having having influence on other fighters who also now want to grapple. And grappling and flyweight is just the worst thing for Dana. Yeah.
So let me ask you another question. Looking at the bigger picture, are we seeing a Demetrius Johnson version 2 situation happening here, in the sense that the UFC are pretty much disregarding and killing off the flyweight division?
I mean,
because we saw, bearing in mind Demetrius Johnson was champion. And he was fighting on fight night events.
That's mad. That's crazy.
And obviously there was talks of Dana White potentially liquidating that division entirely. We thought we've moved on from that time, but it looks like we're kind of, knocking on that door again by getting rid of one of, if not the best prospect in that division, in Mokaev.
Exactly. And exactly.
Do you see us going back towards that
direction? Dana White is just against flyweights, and he's definitely he's just constantly been attacking. Like, how are you getting rid of not the best fighter, but some of their best fighters? You know what I mean? Just getting rid of him because he's a grappler, or he's also saying because he went to the PFL for a new contract.
Okay, so so just to touch on that point, I'm gonna read out Mokaev's tweet, which was his justification for the Cape situation. So, and I quote, "This is the first time I punched outside the cage. It was more personal. He was the one who headbutted 5 days before Perez fight when I went to shake his hand in Vegas. I understand this is wrong, what happened at the hotel, and I apologize to the UFC. But there's some nights I didn't sleep because someone treated me like that. I never been cheap shot on the streets. I will never let anyone bully me, and I never bullied anyone. But whatever happened, it happened. I don't want to keep talking about it. I will take big lesson from it. To me, that stinks. Yeah. Because he's saying, I saw Cape, I took a picture of him, and then after I took the picture of him, I remembered all the things that he did 5 days before the Perez fight. Not to me, to Perez. And all those little kids that get bullied, I had to stand up for them in that very moment. So he sucker punched him. That is a stinker. On top of that, Mokaev also tweeted that the PFL doesn't even have a flyweight division.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is quite odd. And this was coming out after the allegations that Mokaev was actually talking to the PFL just to gauge some sort of interest for them in order to usher maybe a better contract from the UFC.
Yeah.
So, and bearing in mind after that he was actually pleading with the UFC and Dana White to re-sign him.
Yeah.
So this, as ridiculous as this seems, you'd also think that there's no smoke without fire because Dana White mentioned PFL for a reason. Yeah. Right?
Exactly.
So do you think it's plausible that Mokaev actually talked to the PFL and because of that he was let go?
But if they ain't got a flyweight division, why would he?
Yeah, it's a strange one.
But they even have a bantamweight.
But then why would Dana White also mention the PFL in the first place?
Dana White is a gas man. Dana White is such a gas man. I don't trust one thing like that.
But to be fair, he's cold, you know, because I was deep in it like, you know FIFA career mode, yeah? You sign a player, and then they've got like 6 months left on their contract, or they've got a release clause. Yeah. A club comes in, and then you get an email from your scout saying, they're trying to sell your player. Like Adam Wharton, I had him in my career mode, yeah? Chelsea came in, Chelsea about to agree a deal with him. If you want to keep him at the club, you have to give him more wages on his contract. Do you know what I did, yeah? I doubled his wages that I was giving him. Dana White, yeah, he just said, safe. Yeah, you can leave, man. If you want to leave, you want to leave. Because do you know what I've got? I've got Ray Surya coming up from the academy. I've got Tatsuro Taira. I've got Steve Ursage.
But it's weird because Dana loves these Dagestanis, you know what I mean? He loves them because he knows he can sell them like Islam.
Big market.
Yeah, exactly. So why has he got this thing?
Khabib? Yeah. Was it 300 million?
Yeah, no, obviously Khabib is next level, but I'm talking about these other Dagestanis. You know what I mean, he loves them. So why is he like Shara Bullet? You know what I mean, like why is he marketing him so much?
But I think we've also noticed recently the hate that the Dagestanis are getting.
Yeah, they get, but I don't think Dana cares about all of that, man. That's just from like a certain group of people. But I'm saying like, you know, like Dana, he doesn't really care about. He just sees green. You know what I mean? He just wants money, bro. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So like, he doesn't care about anything else. Like, look, I was just looking. PFL, it looks like it doesn't even have a bantamweight division. It looks like it just starts at featherweight.
Yeah. So I mean, it's nonsense.
So why would Mokaev want to go there?
And why would Dana White
pundit or something?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like
pundit.
Yeah, like
commentator.
Yeah, like was he like what? Like what's the? I don't know, man. Like I feel like it's all nonsense. And from that tweet that Mokaev done when he was like apologizing, he said he sees his future in the UFC. He wants to become champ. One other thing I think it could be, you know, knowing Dana White's relationship with John Jones, bro, I feel like he does not want Mokaev to be the youngest champion. Obviously, I think that ship sailed though because he's 24 now, ain't he?
And he just turned 24.
And Jones won the title at 23.
I believe
was it 23 or 24?
I think it was 24.
Was it?
I think it was 24.
No, I don't think so. I'm sure it was 23.
You know what? It's not a crazy show because Dana recently has been riding Jones like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, 23.
23, okay.
But so I feel like he just wants. I think he wants no one to come close to John Jones at all. Man. Yeah,
Dana's a flip flop.
Yeah, remember a weird guy, man.
Yeah, he was beefing with Jones, saying, "Oh, Francis Ngannou, the greatest heavyweight of all time." Ngannou left John Jones, the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Bro, I feel like he's marketing the wrong guys, man. Like the wrong people he's marketing. Like John Jones is like, bro, he's gonna have 1 or 2 more fights. I mean, focus on your guys that are fighting. Like, I mean, I'm not. John Jones is the greatest, but I'm saying the ones that why is he supporting John Jones so much? And no matter what interview he goes to, he somehow manages to put in John Jones is the best for no reason.
He's gonna go life and death to try and get that that loss on John Jones's record overturned as well.
Yeah.
He said
And
he's
that's the only guy who would do it for.
everything in my power to get rid of that loss.
I was watching like some podcast. I can't remember who it was. I mean, I just saw a clip of it.
Yeah.
But for no reason, he brings up John Jones and starts talking about him. I says how he's got such a dark side, and his dark side isn't the mad stuff that he's done. It's only he likes guns and he likes dogs. Like, what the heck?
Crazy.
But
vibes,
I don't know.
man.
I think that's another reason. I think like Mokaev is so close to being champ.
Yeah.
He's maybe like he's either going to be next or 1 or 2 fights away from the title shot. I don't think he will beat Pantoja now. But in the future, definitely, by the time he's like 25, 26, I think he will be champ. And I think he just doesn't want that. He wants someone that comes nowhere near John Jones' record. I think it's all politics. I think what he's going to do is he's going to fire Mokaev for now. Mokaev's going to go fight at some other organization. Yeah, for like 2-3 years. And then he's going to re-sign him. And he's going to come back to the UFC when he's at 26, when John Jones' record is safe. No one's going to be able to come close to him. And he's going to re-sign him. And then we're going to see him.
So he gives Jones a 4-year leeway.
Yeah, that's it. It makes him. He wants him to be super safe.
Just to wrap up the video, I mean, you pretty much already said it. I was going to ask, do you think Mokaev gets re-signed?
I hope he gets re-signed now, man. I don't want him to like,
especially with the uproar.
He'll probably go to
online.
like Bellator or something. Does Bellator? Do they have a flyweight? I'm sure they would. Whatever, but he'll probably go somewhere there. Even
with the uproar currently online and whatnot from the fans, you don't think?
No, I don't.
Dana White would be inclined to sign him.
I don't know. I think for now he won't. Maybe in the future. I think. I mean, I think definitely he will in the future because Mokaev is a big name. Getting rid of him is so dumb. It's just so serious. Unless there's other things that have happened and we don't know about. Which obviously will, as we find out, we'll talk about it more.
Alright, well, fair enough. I guess that's that. Hopefully Mokaev does get re-signed because he's potentially the future of that division.
And I'm a guy that doesn't like Mokaev, the way he fights. I don't even rate that. You know what I mean? I don't think it will work. So I think he's so like, I think if he goes against like the top opposition, it won't work. Like Capit, like the fight against Capit was very close. I mean,
in his time, he's 23.
He's 23, but
better.
That's the only thing if he was like 29, 30, you think, he's not going to be champ. But he's only 23, so he's got time. And his striking looked good in his last fight. So by the time he's 30, I feel like he will definitely be champ.
Alright, well, that's that. Mokaev, we're waiting for you to come back, fella.